back into that again.
Right.
And I have an opportunity to recover some more.
What do you mean by being more positive because you were so negative about it?
By being so positive because I was so negative about it, yes.
Yeah.
You're totally right, but you're right. But one of the problems we have in the company is that our American colleagues are so annoyingly positive.
Even disasters.
Even disasters. This is an opportunity. So anyway, so that's it. Right. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Paris. Glad to see you all here. I will now immediately launch into the MIL priorities. Immediately. Right. So, first thing I want to talk about is the key challenges. Now, challenges is a business euphemism for shit. So, these are some of the major shit things which we are faced with this year. The first thing, of course, is the economy. We all know about the global economy. We have a particular issue in Spain. There's over 15% unemployment in Spain at the moment. There are construction sites there which are just complete deserts. There's nothing at all happening. A lot of our customers have gone home. It's our largest market, and we're actually 30% down on last year. It's a big issue for us. The UK economy is also a disaster. We're 2 million unemployed in the UK. We keep hearing about immigrants going home, and it's forecast to go up to 3 million this year. Peter Osser just sent out the IMF results, or the IMF forecast for remittances worldwide, saying it's going to be negative 8% growth in 2009 for the underdeveloped countries. And one of the things I thought was interesting about Peter's little note was he said, unsurprisingly, the forecast is now worse. This is the trend we're seeing. The forecast continues to get more negative. This is the environment we're operating in. This is our situation. Regulations, we have the PSD coming in this year. We all know what the Payment Services Directive is, completely changing the way we're doing business in Europe. We're dealing with that. We'll be talking a lot more about that over the next 2 days. And then other regulations, other countries are introducing, it's against the law to have exclusive contracts. Nigeria is the most recent one. Other compliance issues and regulations coming up all over the place. Competition. Western Union has bought Fexco. There are things happening in the market. Every now and again we hear about other corridor pricing, zero fees in Poland by RIA from the UK. That's the environment we're working in. So, are we going to roll over and die, or are we going to do things about it? Well, really, the rest of this presentation is talking about what we are going to do about that. So, first of all, we're going to completely change this presentation. we are going to focus on our financial results. We have our budget for the year, forecast for the year. For the first 2 months of the year, we are slightly ahead. So far this month in March, actually by next week I'll know the results, we're about 4% ahead. The results, we are actually producing the results, we are moving forward there. The PSD, I think Terry and Gordon and David and the team have done an absolutely amazing job in the PSD. Filled with all sorts of uncertainty, we now know that we're going to be regulated in the UK. We know what our structure is going to be, we know most of the impacts, and we're going to go ahead on that. Not only that, but it gives us a fantastic opportunity to have a completely different tax structure for the future, where we can just save millions of dollars per year on taxes. In our network, we're now over 180,000 worldwide. We are going to crack 200,000 this year. It's a really important milestone. And I tell you, it wasn't that long ago that we cracked 100,000, and here we are, already that close to 200,000. Everybody's going to talk a bit more about how we're going to do that. Well, we will be going a bit more on some incremental opportunities, but some of the opportunities we have, as I mentioned, we're down 30% in Spain. If it weren't for Spain, we'd be growing. I don't know how to do that back.
I'll do it.
If it were not for Spain, we'd be growing at 9% this year. In the UK, as I mentioned, the UK economy is a disaster. We are actually growing in the UK, and the reason we are growing in the UK is because of the work which has been done over the past few years, laying the foundations in the UK Post Office, so where we've rolled out to the entire network We have Agent Connect, automated systems in the entire network of the post office, and notwithstanding the economy, the UK Post Office is actually growing year on year. We know that Western Union is suffering. We know that Thingamy Gold, Christina Gold actually mentioned it in the results of Western Union, that they're suffering. We are not, we're growing. Going Places has come in as well, an acquisition, and we're bringing that in. So great results in the UK. We're growing in the Middle East by about 38%, in Libya, in the UAE and Lebanon. France, somebody's going to be talking about those results, I think, how we're growing in France, we're growing in Germany, we've got a new acquisition in Spain. We're maximising all those results, and we're going to keep growing. Network, I said that already, how did I come out into it again? Right, alright, I'm going to just keep
I
going.
missed out people.
I missed out people.
Align resources against PSD, trade.
Less is more.
Less is more.
We, apart from a retail business, where we opened some branches in January, February, we are not growing the headcount this year at all. In fact, making any savings? No, we're just not growing our headcount this year at all. We're maximising
We've actually got 20% uplift in headcount over last year. Sorry.
Excluding
Excellent.
retail.
What?
Excluding
One
retail.
team.
Reading.
but based on the plan of last year's plan, we're not growing.
Okay, that's fantastic.
Sorry, we were both waiting.
We were waiting
to
to-
go because normally I'm jumping up and doing it, leading it, and
Right.
John, we were just waiting because, but I'm looking after this today and doing the notes.
Oh, right,
so Johnny's
okay.
gonna. So sorry about
Right.
that. We'll let you go on a bit.
Thank
so,
God.
too long.
That was great. How did that feel?
Well, it felt I felt a bit lost with my presentation and stuff.
Yeah.
Because we haven't really worked on all this stuff and learnt this week.
Yeah.
So how to actually bring it out. But I felt as if I was being energetic.
Yeah.
I felt as if I was being more positive, even though I started out talking about shit. But I still feel as if
Yeah.
there was a plan and I was moving into the positive.
Yeah.
Although I think Tony might be thinking, oh shit, you're talking about shit again. But hopefully I've moved on fast enough.
Is there a culture where you are that you just dive straight in? Or is there room for kind of anecdotal kind of introduction?
We're thinking
That's
we've
right.
got
Yeah, no,
50.
we could do. Yeah, we could
Yeah,
do.
I think we're focusing on the 15-minute slot we've got
Right.
for these when actually the probably
Well,
is coming.
John's got more, but yeah, but you're right. No, there is opportunity to
Yeah,
talk.
we do that.
Because I think actually, rather than diving straight into what might, your first impression was going to be bad news, kind of going into that, actually some kind of anecdotal, picking up on something, or just, if you're happy with humour, which you seem to be, just finding something to react to would be quite a nice kind of handing over the baton moment to sort of, give you a moment just to relax into a little bit before you then, kick off.
The other thing is, what is your overall take on your business given the current environment? I mean, what I was getting was that actually you in spite of things being so bad, actually you're holding up fairly well.
Well, we've got phenomenal growth, and okay, summary is we have 3 huge markets: Spain, UK, and Italy.
Yeah.
The UK economy is terrible. The Spain economy is terrible.
Are you getting into a list now? What's the
So
top line?
I'm just saying that
Well,
we have those are that
but
is
we gave you a
75%
top line,
of our
which was
business.
which was
But
yeah.
most of the rest of it is growing hugely.
Right,
But it's on a smaller base.
it's good. It's good.
Right. Yeah.
But I just think you get in a better place with senior people if you gave me that sense at the beginning, because what you dive into is a
I
mix.
did dive into the shit then. I
You
dive
did. Well,
into
also use words like, if you're getting that kind of feedback from the Americans, use words like challenging rather than shit.
Or keep it
Yeah,
simple.
I
Yeah,
was definitely
I
going to
wasn't
say
gonna do
that.
that.
It's
you
really
shouldn't use
funny.
that.
Shouldn't
I
use
don't
that.
think you wanted to use shit, were you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Right. I would be really well. I think if to these guys it's really funny, and I love that. And then it goes into
They
UK.
don't like it.
But
They
think
love
about
it,
think
yeah.
about your audience. Think about the Americans, and also that you have, because sometimes I use the F word. And
He
you
says
think,
shit.
yeah, you think, but I use, if I'm with a British audience, essentially, I'm comfortable sometimes using the F word for effect.
Yeah.
But I would never use it within a bunch of Americans. You know, so whether we like it or not, we've got.
Right.
to-
Well, you've got people like Cindy and Terry in the audience as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but almost the American
Yeah.
content dictates that if you've got one or two, if they one senior American person and a whole load of Brits, you still need to watch your language. So that's my advice.
Okay.
What I'd also, from a content point, because Johnny will comment on performance, from a content perspective, it can help you if you gave me exactly what you said, which is actually, given what's happening at the moment, we're in pretty good shape. You know, it's not perfect across the board, and I'm going to talk about this, but I need an overview, because what happens, or my experience of dealing with senior guys, is that when you start getting into a list of things, and all they remember is the bad things on it, not the good things. So what sometimes can help you is just giving that one liner, which you said, we're actually still growing. The rest of we're having problems in two or three markets, but overall we're growing, and it's strong. I want to talk about the issues. I want to talk about the upside.
That sounds
But
much
it's not actually putting a gloss on it. It's actually telling the truth.
Yeah.
I think you're underselling yourself a bit, content-wise. So think about that.
That sounds much better.
Yeah, Johnny.
Yeah, there's some things I want to just work on, again, in this idea of rehearsal. I don't know whether you guys felt aware of it, but sometimes your eye contact I'd lose your eyes.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like you were going to here, it was like you were going to about there. And we do kind of have that default position of thinking there is an imaginary script somewhere here. We all do it. It's like the visual equivalent of an we tend to punctuate our thoughts with an and visually, if we look away, sometimes it's the same effect. Did you touch on the eye
I
contact?
gave them the three type, the PowerPoint eyes and the looking down, and the good one, yeah.
So, the windows are the eyes of the soul. If we can see the eyes, even if you're not sure, and you take it away, at least I have a contact with you. If you break it, then I'm worried on some level. What's wrong with them? Are they shifty? Do they know what they're doing? What's the problem? Whatever it might be. So, bless you. That's what I'm taking. So, when you start again, if you feel that his eyes go down at any point, can you just raise your hand? Because I'm not sure that Johnny's actually totally aware of it. Because often when we again, we're not sure, and we need an audience to point that out, because it's so much of a habit. So that's one thing just to be aware of, is to try and maintain that plane rather than that plane. And I think sometimes you were kind of looking a little bit over here. There was a kind of,
what was next.
if in a way you could see it here.
Yeah, you need to bring this up. What you did on that first chart that had 3 words in it, how many times did you look back at it? I counted.
I don't know.
6. Right. So what, if you want to be really impressive, is hardly ever looking back. And actually, if you can get this into your peripheral vision, you might have to just kind of glance down, but it's much better than that, because as soon as you turn away from the audience, you're losing them. Whereas actually, looking at it's not brilliant, but actually almost on your peripheral vision, you can see it. And when you're familiar with your stuff, and particularly if you've got visuals there, actually, those are the things you don't even have to look at the screen for. They're so easy to see. And they're the signposts that kind of tell you where to go with it. So try using your laptop. And if you've got a table here, just put it sometimes down the table can help, rather than having it really right here as well. That'll help you with the looking back thing. But it looks really impressive if you hardly ever. We had a guy the other week who just did a whole presentation without looking back. He just clicked his way through it, and his peripheral vision, you could see the laptop, but it just looked really, really good.
I want to do some work on your voice though, and the vocal energy thing that's going on. And I think it's something we can all do, because we all have these kind of habits. The voice is made up of 2 voices really. It's made up of the head voice and the chest voice. And if our breathing isn't right, the voice tends to be out in some way, whether it's trapped at the back here or sort of in the nose or wherever it might be. So I just want to do a little bit of work with you on unlocking your voice, so that you can be what we call on your voice. So if you just all get up for a moment. Find some space that you can just do a bit of swinging really.
Just 1 second.
And just take a stretch up. And just hold your arms out there and just let the air out. Breathe in again. And hold it there for a few seconds. And breathe out again. Breathe in again. And just hold it there for about 10 seconds. And then breathe out on a And this time I want you to breathe in, hold it for a couple of seconds, and then breathe out over 20 seconds. So in and out. Anything else still going? Very good. Then the arms go back. Shake that sound up. Very, very good. They now know that if you don't breathe from here every day, at some point during the day, you're not moving the lymph around your body. The lymph, the toxins in your body. You know, the lymph glands you have here and here. Now you can live for a day without your blood being cleaned in your kidneys. You can't live for a day without your lymph being moved around. So this stuff is actually quite important for your health. And this idea of holding your breath for 2 seconds, so taking your breath in,